Alrighty, that was interesting. I gotta turn the recording back on. Alright, we are live on YouTube. Thank you so much. Close. Alrighty. Thanks so much, everybody, for stopping by. Yeah. All right, so let's get right to it because this was a long, long, long dictation thing that I got. Okay, so I got this on April 15th, and I actually added to this today, and I had some other things come through throughout the week. So be ready to shift your paradigm. Stanford Research Institute, SRI. All right, so one of the paradigms that is generally accepted is that it's the paradigm that is currently in place. It strengthens our beliefs when we look towards the scientific. Right? I mean, you can just feel it. So this pull in that direction has strengthened even more over the last several decades. Evidence is no longer good enough now, and people are trying to continue to rely on it. So established norms, established paradigms, established modes of research, everything's going to shift because the tools have not caught up to what reality really is. So evidence must be examined, categorized, and scrutinized for the scientific. But that in and of itself is not a bad thing. It's what we have now is a system that is unwilling to see the unseen. What I mean by that is if we can't experience what someone else is experiencing, then we within ourselves, that those things that the other individual experienced is typically not believed. So a really good, maybe this is why this is coming through. I actually did a staff meeting, and I presented to them about the research that's being conducted right now, and they don't understand it really, but they're teaching children how to read books blindfolded. And they have these special goggles that is totally black. They teach the kids that there is light within the mask that they're wearing. Oh, it's a mask just for their eyes. And these kids can read these books. They can navigate. They can roller skate. They showed them, and it was just a couple-minute video. But anyway, so I guess you get the point. My staff, there were 2, I think, out of the 7 that actually, and I said, I can tell by some of the looks on your faces that you don't believe it. And one of them, and I give her kudos because she was willing to admit that she didn't believe it. She thought it was all a hoax. She thought it was fake. And I said, I know people that are doing it, and it's not. So anyway, but taking this back to this whole science, we don't understand it. We don't understand science. We don't have any type of real, true knowing unless we experience it ourselves. And then we have to be even careful with that because we can be made to hear and see, feel, touch, and taste things that are not there. If you pull back into a memory, you can, something that like baking bread, boom, you're starting to think of that, aren't you? So yeah, that's kind of that same idea. But it's even worse though if you have an experience that the scientific has categorized, that you're going to believe the scientific definition over that individual's experience. Maybe giving an example, let's see. Somebody who's placed in a category of having a type of psychosis, and sometimes it's attached to another diagnosis like major depressive disorder, anxiety, schizophrenia, schizoaffective, whatever you can put on there. You get wound up enough, you can start hearing things and seeing things. You can align in a certain frequency, and it's for different reasons. It's not all the same reasons. So any of the other, most of them is called, so when they diagnose these things, there's something called a modifier. You can have those diagnoses, and it would be, you know, something that would say like with psychotic features or without psychotic features. That just means that the individual is seeing things and or hearing things that others can't see or hear. And the verbiage used to be that, you know, it was just couldn't see, or that they see and are hearing things that aren't there. So how can we say that they're not there? Just because we don't see them. But even though that language has changed a little bit, people still don't believe it. You can even show them visual evidence. It's not enough unless you experience it yourself. But again, be careful with that, because our brains are so powerful, and the archons bosses know this, and we got to be careful. We just have to be careful. So then it came up to the only way to see the unseen and make it believable is to draw pictures or provide animation to help people visualize. This, I believe, is the reason why it was brought to my attention several times, and even more so more recently, that there are people, I'm assuming they're people, that 50 to 70% of people living on the planet have no internal monologue. And I know I did a thing with Michael and then with Stone. I did two with Michael, and then Stone came on with another one just to talk about the idea of non-player characters, about NPCs. And his definition was different than mine, and Stone's was different again. But my personal is that there's no ability to critical think, excuse me, and there's no ability to like reason within their own mind or think things over and mull things over. It's something where they have to retrieve things based on their input, and that's what they're going to output. I have to have a little drink of water here. So here's what's interesting though. I believe that these individuals who do not have the internal monologues, up to, what they're hypothesizing, up to 70% of people on the earth have no internal monologue. What this tells me is this makes them highly susceptible to suggestion, highly susceptible to theory. And since there is a limited amount of critical and lateral thinking skills and abilities to do things outside of themselves, you know, in this 3D stuff, I don't see that where was I going with that? It's that we have to be careful. We have to be careful. We have to be careful. And it led to another idea about having out-of-body experiences that I think we all do all the time. We just don't really think of them as that way. But there are ways to experience that other level of consciousness in another place, time, and or dimension without having what you would consider a classic OBE, like a near-death or, you know, astral travel. I think that these are on command when we use our imagination. I think that that's a different aspect of having this whole critical thinking. It's part of our creativity. If we don't have that, I don't know what the creativity would be like. Okay, I don't know that. This was about something completely different, and I'm feeling that this is not part of what we're talking about. I might have to do a second video, because this is this is really deep. This would take me an hour to do. So having said that, just for that second half of that. So having said all of that, I've pulled the cards. If you want to see the card pulling process and how I clear the board, I'm going to shut this camera down here and switch over to the board behind me. And yeah, I will have the full version posted on Rumble. And I did mention earlier, but I'm going to mention it again now, that my website was not working properly. But hopefully I have the corrected link, or a link that works to get to the website. And turn my phone off, and for some reason my chair won't scoot up. All right, so let's get started. So what do we have here first? Yeah, wow, talk about change. There's going to be a sudden change, not necessarily a bad change, but a very sudden one. It's going to make a lot of people uncomfortable. You know, it's interesting. Well, the one guy looks like he jumped, but the other one looks like they're falling. I think I want to be the dude standing at the bottom of the mountain, saying, "I already left the party. I left that party." And we're sitting at the bottom, all ready to go to help these people when they make their way down the mountain. That's how it kind of feels. But yeah, we might be watching, or we might be in that tower situation. So let's see what develops from that. Yep, here we are. We're checking out the world's workings. Oh golly, a lot of glare today. But yeah. So there seems to be a lot of us are either here on our way to a safer place. Some are going willingly, and some we're waiting at the bottom. We're waiting at the bottom of the mountain, ready to help rebuild, reconstruct, reformulate. And it's not just, that this is not an altruistic position. This is for us to, when we help others, we're helping ourselves. Wow. So we've got quite a journey ahead of us, because there are those standing afar off. I don't feel like these are us. I feel like these might be those watching out for us. We can see it better here. So because they're looking out for us. They're watching us. We're on that shoreline. There's a lot of stuff going on. I feel like the firmament. And we're just trying to make sense of things. So this is kind of like it's really more like this, because this is moving on. This is what we're looking at here. So we want to make sure that if we are here waiting to help people, that we're not sad, that we can't have that affect us. Because not everybody's going to be able to make it, and we do have this with us, and we're going to be able to change our direction, pick it up, and find our way through the maze. This is very heartfelt, and I kind of feel that sometimes, that I feel bad for people that have limited insight or limited ability to see the bigger picture. So I feel like this page is supporting those of us who are tending to be a little bit too much in our head and not realizing that it's not up to us to make the decision to move forward or not. It was these guys' choice to stay where they were at and not even necessarily ignore. They may not even been aware of the signs being a sign. I mean, how often have we done that? I mean, you could do it something as simple as saying, you know, hey, you can't see the nose in front of your face. And if you think about it, try looking at your nose. It's not easy. Yeah, and this is all about the factoring in of justice, and I'm going to put that right there. This is about balance. This is about justice. This is about our taking responsibility for our decisions. When we are experiencing these things, and whether we're here or here, because this is multifaceted. This is multifaceted. This is not looking at one aspect of life. This is looking at everything and every aspect. Your finances might be great, but your relationships maybe kind of are crappy. So that's kind of the way you have to look at it. You know, maybe your material world is not the best. You always have your stove breaking, or your dishwasher died, or whatever. Maybe you have health challenges. So there are different aspects to what is challenging your paradigm, and you didn't see it coming. There are always those there who will empathize with you, who will help you get rebalanced, but you still have to do the work. When we do all of this work, I don't feel like this is attached to this yet, is this Nine of Pentacles. This is all about, you know, already having. And because it might be above us, maybe it's outside of our vision, but it's there. We have everything. We are everything. Times are changing, 100%. Times are changing. We need to make sure that we are prepared for you know, it's not about necessarily even playing safe, because if these guys had jumped and thought, oh my gosh, you know, maybe have a little bit of fool's energy, we could have had this Wheel of Fortune. We could have been this guy. We may have had a little more empathy and realized what was behind us is good. What we were looking out for can actually help us. Yeah, let's not lament this stuff, huh? This is about significant change, right? This is about, I'm going to move these guys up and over. This is about significant change. Yeah, it feels like now we're shifting the idea. Doesn't mean the other idea was wrong. It means that we're now able to shift our position. And, you know, the devil too, devil's in the details. If we had paid attention to the details, because I feel like this is Capricorn. We need to pay attention to the details. A lot of Cups energy here too. So we got Six of Cups here. That could be like nostalgia, right? Don't stay too much into the past, or otherwise you're going to be stuck lamenting. Let's not do that. Yeah, oh my gosh, yes. Five of Cups. No, Five of Cups. So in this, I know that the other Five of Cups is, well, you know, it's like him lamenting, but look at this one. We've got our eyes covered, and we have everything here. We just don't realize that we got our hands on two of them. They're out of our vision. These are behind. But we even have our hands on them, so we're getting closer. Even through the reading, it feels like we're getting closer. Yeah, we're a little tired. We're a little tired. Wow, but we sure do have all the tools. This is about the bounty. This is about the magic, right? We have all of the skills, the knowledge, the tools, everything. We need to maintain that fire within us. We even have the Queen of Swords here. The Queen of Swords is very confident. The Queen of Swords is the lady who can get it done. Clarity, wisdom, sovereignty came into my head. Oh my goodness. She's also very grounded, this one. There's your earth energy. Queen of Earth or Pentacles. And we are getting confirmation of this changing. There's our Wheel of Fortune. I almost never see that card in this deck. I get a lot of these. These have been coming up quite often. A little bit of the Justice card has been coming up. But the Wheel of Fortune and the Wheel of Fortune twice, there's some affirmation for you. And you know, where is it? It has the, and I don't think you typically think of it. Oh yes, this Wheel of Fortune to me speaks volumes of the strength card, because there's Lion, there's the Lion of Strength. This is a Leo card. So 8, it's even card number 8 for August. So there's something in the beginning of August. So one of the things we need to do is make sure we don't look down. There was somebody, he's kind of looking up, but the observer is very, very watchful, obviously. And this guy kind of feels like an observer here. But it's kind of like between these two is the observer. Just being watchful. If we were watchful, these are watchful cards, I feel. These were not watchful. These were just ticking along. Yeah, we're going to possibly feel orphaned. We are not orphaned because we have so much. These, again, I feel are those who are watching over us. We are not orphaned. It's okay to acknowledge the fact that sometimes we do feel abandoned. We have to deal with those feelings and make sure we are reminding ourselves and speak the truth. Wow. Speak the truth. Open your heart. Open your heart. That is a wise thing to do. She has an owl, and here is an owl to tell the truth. This will begin a new life. Wow. So this also is the beginning of new life. We just don't see it because we're so wound up with, other things that we're maybe not wanting to let go of. Ooh, we are going to be having some unexpected visitors. That might be family, friend, neighbor, I'm getting just about everything that you can think of, but it's going to come quietly. I believe that's wisteria plant. That might be significant for someone. There's a wisteria there. I don't know if you can really see that. That's where that purple is at. That's wisteria there. And hey, look what I'm putting it by. Messenger. Don't be fearful. She looks kind of scared. Right? Don't be fearful with that. Because we are going to feel like we're going to hit rock bottom, baby. Oh my gosh. Don't fear. Don't fear that. Because look at this. There's a path in and there's a path out. We just have to turn around like this guy. We have to turn around and take advantage of our new life. And we are here to rescue ourselves, and we are not alone. We are not alone. We're even getting an unexpected visitor to help us. So do your healing now. Don't be sad. Do your healing now. Don't be this guy. Don't be this guy, right? Remember that we have this 9 of Cups here. All right, this all feels like relationships, maybe some things going on in the working world. Let's see what's going on. These could be relationships, but they could also be about finance. And I think that that's going to be remaining volatile. So, aren't we overcoming some obstacles? But we have the crown of peace. That doesn't say that here, but that's what came through. The crown of peace, knowledge, stability. We have this. We have this. We have this. We are this. Overflowing prosperity, full or empty. We are prosperous. We are nurturing. We are nurturers. And we need to just start the movement. Start moving forward. Not taking silly risks, but just moving forward. Commitment. You have to have commitment. There is no depth without commitment. You have to go all in. So maybe some of this stopping, you feel like you're lamenting, process that. Then move on. Move on and make the commitment for a better life. Make it happen. You're going to, don't cut corners, break through, stay within the law. And sometimes we do have to, stop spending money. I had to do, you know what I do? This is how I get over not spending money. I'll load up my cart on whatever website I'm on. If I'm shopping online, I'm going to load up my cart. It's easier to do when you're in the store, because I pay with cash in the store. But when you're out and where you're in and you're shopping online, this is where you can save money, as you load up that cart and you leave it. You just leave it. And then you come back however many days or weeks later, and I don't really need that, and I can save that till next time, or I can put so much money towards that. And you can save it, and it says save for later. Sometimes on websites you can save it for later, or you can look at your search history and what you looked at, and you can figure out where it was that you left off. And I can't tell you how many times I've looked at things, because I'm still trying to set up my house. So most of you guys don't know that I lost everything in 2014. I mean, I was like the epitome of a country western song. So I had absolutely nothing. I lost everything. But in 2018, I not only got the job back, I got the house, I even got the dog, and I got the car. I got a car. So, it all was that quick in disappearing. But it was also, it took time for me to kind of regroup, and it took me 4 years to get stabilized in a respect that I was able to get done what our society considers to be a decent living standard. So that having been said, we just take one step at a time, and we're going to have these solid finances. We're going to have a long-term position. We're going to have stability. We have it now. We have it now when we work towards that and work to maintain it. How does that sound? I have to switch this over. So yes, it's been a fantastic week. I'm so grateful for everybody. Again, please do like, share, subscribe, all that other kind of fun stuff. I am going to start, like I said, a group, a small group though, and maybe offer it a couple times a week if there's more than 4 or 5 people. And then what I can do is I'm also going to start posting maybe things a little more relevant to individuals that were born certain times of the year. Maybe I'll do like all fire, all water, all the elementals first, and then going through and doing the other ones specific to the energies for that month. I kind of have to hold on loosely to that again, because I think people read in too much of that. It's got to be very individualized, so that's why I really enjoy doing individuals readings. It's a lot of fun. So with that, I hope everybody has a fantastic week, and everybody enjoy the rest